did you make of that? Rishi got pretty close, but not over the line.
Actually, I think it's a great result. Look, you know, this is rightly a tough contest. To become the Prime Minister of our great country deserves to ensure that we have the best possible slate of candidates, but also that they're put through their paces. So I'm delighted that Rishi has not only secured the number of votes he had last night, but he's added to it, and I know that he will welcome the forthcoming day or so of hustings and conversations to secure more support for his campaign.
Interesting, though, he did only add on 3 MPs. There was a sense that, you know, particularly with Tom Tugendhat in his politics, that he should have done better. Why do you think that is? Why were, among those, nearly 30-odd, 31 MPs, I think it was, why didn't more of them row in behind the former Chancellor?
Well, far be it from me to claim to know the intricacies of 330 colleagues' voting intentions. It is possible, I put it no more firmly than that some of them may have been thinking about who they would like in that second spot. But for me, my decision was absolutely clear. I wanted to vote for Rishi because I fundamentally believe he will be a great Prime Minister for our country.
In many ways, though, isn't the problem for Rishi Sunak is that he's kind of the continuity candidate at a time in which some of your colleagues, quite a few of your colleagues, and maybe quite a lot of the membership want to see change, in the sense that they do not want to see a Conservative government where tax remains at a really high level, where, you know, we know this. One of the reasons Boris Johnson was unpopular with some of your colleagues was because he agreed with that economic standing, that it was more important in some ways to try and tackle the debt than it was to bring about tax cuts now.
Look, I think the most urgent problem actually facing both our country, but of course the next Prime Minister, are the cost of living pressures that are already being felt by millions across the country, and we fear will get worse as winter looms and as energy prices, if they continue to go up in the way that they have. And this is where Rishi's experience as Chancellor is so vital, I think, because, you know, there isn't a lead-in time for the next Prime Minister. They will be declared on the 5th of September. They will take office on the 6th of September. And the moment they step through that big black door that's so famous the world over, they will be given national security briefings. They will be asked to make decisions about how the economy is handled, how to help with NHS black backlogs and so on. And what Rishi has shown as Chancellor, in the short time that he has been Chancellor, he has shown an extraordinary resilience. He has shown an ability to take very tough decisions very quickly. If you think of the furlough scheme, that was worked up in a matter of days, and it helped save 11.6 million jobs. Countless businesses have been saved through the pandemic as well. Many in my own constituency, incredibly grateful for the help that they had received from the government during the pandemic. And it's this sort of, if you like, experience, but also this range of abilities to look after not just the economy, but all the other aspects of life that we care so very much about, that we really, really need the next Prime Minister to be able to do. And I firmly believe, having known Rishi for some time now, that he is best placed to do that.
But in the end, it's not Conservative MPs who are going to decide this. It is, of course, Conservative members, the 160-odd thousand of them. If you look at 97, 2001, 2005, the candidate who topped the poll amongst MPs didn't go on to win among the membership. And we've seen two YouGov polls in the last week in which Rishi Sunak loses to every other candidate he's up against. That has not changed, and he's the most recognisable candidate to Conservative members. Do you recognise that there are a lot of Conservative members out there who, frankly, have seen Rishi Sunak, who know Rishi Sunak, but just don't like him?
So this is the critical difference between the leadership contests you've cited and today, this month's contest, is that those previous contests happened when we were in opposition. And so the people that we were thinking about, that members were considering, would have time to establish themselves, to build up their opposition front benches, to really sort of settle into the role as opposition Leader of the Opposition. Of course, this is very, very different now. We are not electing just the leader of our party. We are also electing the person who will, as I say, on the 6th of September, walk through that big black door and begin to rule our country. And so we really, really, all of us, I think, have got a very interesting but an incredibly grave responsibility to ensure that the person we put that cross next to is the very best person to do the job out of the slate of candidates. And look, by the way, I think we've had some great candidates. I'm so proud of our party that we have had such a diverse range of candidates of all sorts of experiences and abilities, but we now have to focus our minds on who will be able to do that job from the very moment that they arrive back in Downing Street, having spoken to Her Majesty the Queen. And that, for my money, is Rishi Sunak.